What's up, guys? This is Vaughn Kohler. You're listening to the MFCEO Project. This is our first full-length podcast episode in a while, and I'm really not even going to try to explain this one. Just listen. We're going to have a real talk about success, motivation, and what's next for the MFCEO Project.
We're going to let the band deal with this. In my A style. Old school. Okay, shut up. Okay, what's up? Shut up.
What's up, guys? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm Andy. I am the motherfucking CEO. Guys, it's been a little bit since we've been on. I've been sick. Vaughn's been sick. Vaughn's got a new baby coming. Just got a lot of shit going on our end, and I apologize for the delays. But we're back. You asked me before, I told Vaughn right before this, that I'm getting a little bit tired of talking to people. And you've been following me lately. I've been less active on social media, especially Snapchat and Instagram, and basically non-existent on Periscope. And a lot of people have been asking me why that is. I'm just going to be real, man. Like, I just feel like that if you need to be motivated on a daily basis, you don't have what it fucking takes anyway.
Right.
And I've been questioning the reasons why I put so much effort into those types of messages, because I don't have anybody pulling me. I don't have anybody pushing me. I don't have anybody fucking telling me to do shit. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you're an entrepreneur and you are of, the right mindset, you're not going to need that either. You know what I mean? So with that being said, who the fuck am I talking to?
Right. You
get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I've been trying to sort through that mentally, because I don't know. I feel like, we did the podcast on success zombies, and we talked about how people consume info and consume motivation and this and that. And it's like they live for it like it's a fucking drug. If you're a person who's got what it takes to make it, you're going to have that shit on the inside of you regardless. And the conversation we had a minute ago was, he asked me why I was turning down certain things, and I said, hey, I'm just fucking tired of talking to people. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting on stage and fucking yelling at people about what the fuck they should be doing on their own in the first place. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's an emptiness to it.
Yeah.
I feel like people, if you're listening right now and you don't wake up every day hungry as fuck to make something of yourself, you're not going to make it anyway. There's nothing I can say that's going to fucking change that. And I feel like, I feel like I'm going to change directions on some of the shit that I do, instead of just doing, instead of just doing the motivational shit, break down some more technical shit. You know what I mean? Which is what we do on the podcast regardless. But I don't know. Plus, dude, I feel like the whole motivation guru thing, it's like I've been doing this for 7 years now, and I feel like now all of a sudden it's become like this thing where everybody's doing it, and everybody's got some fucking message to say, and that's great, but 98% of those people never built anything. And I feel like, the whole space is just getting cluttered with nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm looking at my fucking Instagram feed and looking at my Facebook feed, and it's message after message after message of positivity or motivation or whatever, and it's people who aren't doing anything, and it's starting to disgust me. Does that make sense? I'm starting to get disgusted by it.
Yeah.
I don't know, not almost bitter. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I feel like people are smart enough to recognize when people aren't qualified. You know what I'm saying? To give information, but at the same time, it's hey, if everybody else is doing it, why the fuck do I need to do it?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm going to add something else to that. You and I mean, since we started the podcast, you've said again and again, you make your own rules. You are the MFCEO of your life. And one of the things that is kind of irritating is there's rules even for social media that people think that you can't break. You and I have broken the podcasting rule, which is supposedly you're supposed to have 3 months in the hopper before you actually start a podcast, just in case, because if you miss a week or two, you know, your audience is just going to fall apart and rebel on you. That hasn't happened to us.
No, because when you build a loyal audience, or just like loyal customers in business, they're going to fucking be there for you.
Right.
And we're fortunate enough to have people who are listening right now who give a fuck about what we had to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not just filler shit. Like,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, dude.
Well,
Kelsey, we talked about this
on
last
that
time you were
note,
here about certain people, and I'm not going to name any names, contradicting themselves over and over and over again. And like, since we had that conversation, you remember when we talked about that?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
Since I had that conversation with you, I've really started to pay attention to that.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, I see people out there that I used to like really look up to, and I watch what they say, and like they speak out of both sides of their fucking mouth. Mm-hmm. And they say one thing one day, and then they say another thing 3 days later, and people cheer at both of them. And it's just like, dude, you're leading a fucking army of fucking sheep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can't think for themselves.
Right.
And it's like anybody who's paying attention can see that you're saying one thing on Monday and another thing on Thursday, and they don't go together. You know, and I don't know, man. That's just not what I'm about. Like, I believe what I fucking believe. And, you know, like one of the messages that's been going around and gained some traction lately is, you know, if you're successful, you know, if you're pursuing success and you set your goals too big, then you're setting yourself up for depression and suicide. I'm just like, dude, let's be real here, man.
I saw that comment on your page.
Dude, if you don't have what it fucking takes, you don't have what it takes.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And maybe it isn't for you. But to tell people like, hey, set your goals smaller so you don't become depressed, that's fucking pussy shit, dude. I'm sorry. That's pussy. Right. Fucking everybody gets a trophy. It's playing into the fucking bullshit millennial shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just looking at all this information, and I'm not willing to sell myself out like that to fucking gain followers or gain fans. I'm not going to speak to one group and say, hey, it's okay to do this, and then tell everybody else, quit being a fucking bitch. It's just not what I'm about, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like,
right.
So I'm like really starting to question, you know, my direction of where I want to take this, because I feel like it's just getting so cluttered, and people are doing it for the wrong reasons. Right. You know, I feel like people are doing it for, they say they're doing it for other people. Look, I'm giving. But in reality, it's all about the fucking take.
Right.
You know, and I'm not down with that.
One of the things I noticed early
I don't know anybody else. I don't know one other fucking person does all this shit and doesn't charge one fucking thing for anything.
Right.
I don't know one. Name me one.
I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
I could make millions of fucking dollars off of what we're doing here, and I don't, because I don't fucking believe in that.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is a message of fucking public service.
Right. And folks, I can guarantee you, I have presented several revenue generating schemes to Andy. Well, schemes is probably not the right word,
they're business plans.
But they're business plans. And
they're legit.
You have rejected all of them, but that's fine. That's cool. But I don't want to let this go, because I learned something about you very early in the last year, and that is that there are times where you will go off the grid. You know, you just stop. Yeah. Social media. And of course, that flies in the face of all of the so-called gurus who say you have to constantly post, you have to constantly be there, you have to. And one of the things that I realized that you were doing, it's like, no, people are, how do you guys get such good content? You know why? Because if you're talking all the time, after a while, your content's gonna suck.
No,
and
you gotta take time to absorb.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You take time to breathe in,
right,
so that you can breathe out.
Right, and you know
what you inhale determines what you exhale.
No question.
Really.
And I feel like, I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm so plugged into it that I need to step back. But it's just, I'm just tired of it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like seeing people that I think are good people at what they do sell themselves out to speak out both sides of their fucking mouth.
Right.
Not only that, but I think when you give people a break, it allows them, you know, to take that overhead view and be like, oh, man, like, fuck. They're listening to everything else that's out there when they're not hearing you. And
Yeah, dude. Nobody. If you don't give people a chance to miss you, they're not gonna love you.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing with the quote-unquote gurus is that the reason they have to constantly put out that information is because if they don't, people forget about them because what they have to say is not that impactful to start with.
That's right. And if your shit is good, they'll miss you, and then they'll be saying, "Hey, where the fuck you been?" Right, which is cool, and I appreciate that. I really
Which
do.
happens to you. I see that all the time.
I mean, look, I'm very thankful and fortunate and appreciative of everybody who listens to this podcast. You know, but understand that, like, I'm never going to be this dude who fucking tells you the shit that's going to be popular just for this. Maybe I will say shit that is popular if I believe it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to get on the fucking internet every day and sell my fucking shit out and just talk out of both ends of my mouth. It's just not who I am. I've never been that way, you know, and I've just learned a lot the last 6 months being more plugged into this whole fucking scene. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I just be honest. I don't like what I've seen. You know what I mean? I just don't like it. I think that there's a lot of, I don't know. I think there's a lot of good that needs to be done. And I think people are telling people shit that isn't true for their own benefit. And I don't like that. You know? Like, I'm going to tell somebody something that's going to be popular with a certain group so that I get some fucking likes and shares on my shit. That ain't cool. Because you're also talking to those people that you told a week ago, you know, something different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then they're confused, and then they don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this shit is hard enough. And when you look at somebody and look up to somebody as like a fucking hero figure or an idol or whatever, which you should never fucking do, but people do that, you know, or as a mentor or whatever. And this person is, you know, and it's not just one person. There's fucking lots of them that do this. They just don't really stand for anything. It's like, I will say whatever the fuck I need to say to get shares. And I don't know. I'm not down with that. You know what I mean? I take a lot of pride in just saying what I think is true. And if people don't like it, I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm just getting burned out on. Maybe I need to stop consuming other people's shit because I'm getting burned out on on that, and it's making me feel like I'm a part of that, even though I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, this is a great topic. I mean,
like, I don't want to get lumped in with that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I was talking to one of my good buddies, and he's like, "Man, he's like, you're flying all over doing all this shit." He's like, "It's fucking awesome to see." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm over it." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's just not what it seems to be like." You know what I mean? It's a fucking business like anything else. The nature and the soul and the purity of the message is manipulated for dollars. And I don't think that's right in this case. I think when you're coaching somebody, I think when you're somebody who's genuinely doing something for the right reasons, it's okay to charge for it. But I think I believe in that. You know, certain people don't think that it's okay to fucking sell info products. No, if you sell info products, you're qualified to sell them. Fucking sell them. Good for you. But here's the thing. When you have people giving out information and they're giving out contradictory shit, and you have these younger kids, you know, 16 years old to 25 years old, you know, looking at these people, and they're saying one thing, then another thing, then another thing, another thing, another thing, and all these things mixed together, you're confusing the fuck out of people. And I don't, you know, this shit's hard. It's hard enough. It's hard enough without having people, you know, tell you a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean?
It's actually ironic that you brought that up because while I was sitting here, I was going through Instagram, and there was that page, the Millionaire Mentor page, was really popular on Instagram. And there was a 16-year-old kid on there. He said, "I am 16 years old, and I'm a trader. Help me out. I don't know what I'm doing. I lost guidance from this person, blah, 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 blah."
Right.
And I just looked at it, and it was very momentary in my mind, but I'm like, this is what's unfortunate about it is because you need viewer discretion. And if you, the viewer, are not questioning the person that you're looking up to, be it a mentor or not, you're screwing yourself over because even the best of mentors do not know everything.
Right.
And the best ones will admit that they have a lot more to learn.
Right.
And if they're not questioning themselves and then the viewer is not questioning that person, like, you're going to screw yourself over because you have to think for yourself and not let them tell you whatever.
But the whole problem with what we're talking about is that it's so easy to portray credibility now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, Gary says this shit, and he's right about it. You know, it's easy to go fucking get somebody's Ferrari or, you know, and stand in front of it and take some fucking pictures and then talk about, you know, success. And and you're going to, these little 14, 15, 17-year-old kids are going to hear that shit and be like, oh, dude, yeah.
They're like, the page looks legit,
Right,
you know,
right.
they must be real.
And dude, I'm just not down with preying on people's, you know, and like, I don't know, you know, I like cars and I've got cars and I post pictures of cars. And then, you know, I feel like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't do that because now I'm giving the impression that, you know, that, I don't know, maybe I'm giving the wrong impression that this is easy shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I always try to tell the story of like what it took.
Right.
Because
No,
so many
you're being
people-
too self-critical because
no, dude,
that
because
never
it's
comes
an
through in
industry.
this
It's
stuff
become an industry. It's become an industry to prey on people's impatience. You know what I mean? And it's become a business to take somebody's impatience and hope and fucking sell them something to fill that void, which will never fill it. Because, dude, the even if you bought a program that made you $10 million, you would never be satisfied because the satisfying part doesn't come from the money. It comes from the process. And, you know, you can't explain that to somebody who's fucking, you know, having trouble buying a bologna sandwich. They don't fucking listen. So like, I'm trying to, like, I feel like I'm fighting this fucking battle that can't be won. You get what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, say, hey, listen, you know, this is hard shit. It's going to take this much time, blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, well, I see this other guy over here. He said, I'll fucking be a millionaire in 12 months. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't know any better, which one are you going to listen to?
Well, you're selling hard work for free. That guy is selling bullshit for a lot of money.
Right.
That's a good way of putting it.
But I mean, there's only one way to get there, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a, like, dude, everybody likes to point to these fucking stories like Uber and, you know, these fucking glorified, crazy fucking stories. You know, dude, how many times did them do, I don't know, but how many times them guys that started Uber fail or fucking try shit or go to school or have experience before they started fucking Uber? I would bet you it's 10, 15 years of fucking shit. 10, 15, I bet if we had them on the show, you know, it would be 10, 15 years of trying and failing. You know what I mean? But all everybody talks about is, fuck, 2011, the Uber tweet. Right. You know, here's the Uber tweet. I'm looking for investors. Now they're billionaires. And they tell this fucking bullshit story.
Right.
You know, and like, I don't know, man. You know,
So let's back up because this is a great topic. I love that we didn't plan this. So a year or two ago when you and I first talk and you have this vision that this is what you're made for, this is what you want to do. You want to be part of the success and motivation because you want to help people. A year and a half later, there's some disillusionment. There's some, you're kind of sick of it. So what did you want to do back then that now you're running into something about the whole success space? I mean, we've already talked about it, but I want you to sort of articulate it in a very concise way.
Pure. It's not genuine.
Not pure.
You know what I'm saying? It's just another fucking, let me sell some shit to these people who don't have anything. You know what I mean? I don't feel good about that. You know, I feel good about what I do, but what I don't feel good about is getting mixed in with those motherfuckers.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? And, you know, I know what it fucking takes. And I think the reality of life, and I just had this discussion with my own fucking people last night, is that...
You mean your company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, people, 99.99% of people grossly underestimate what it's truly going to take to succeed in life. Totally underestimate, totally misjudge, and that's the reality. You know what I mean? They think that doing something at 95% of your effort or skill level is going to get you where you want to go, and it won't. it's only going to 100% is going to get you there. It's just like a diet. You know, when you fucking diet, if you diet and you do 90% of the work, you're not going to get, 90% results. You're probably going to get 0 results. You know what I mean? And it's only whenever you turn up things to 100% the magic shit starts happening. And, people, I just feel like the message that is the truth isn't being told by really anyone, and I feel like now, you got people telling people, oh, it's okay to fucking be mediocre and it's okay to like be, because you know what? And then the next week it's, entrepreneurship is fucking skill that you could cultivate and blah, blah, blah. And you could be this, what the fuck which one is it? You know what I mean? And, I don't know. I just feel like it's full of fucking bullshit, and I'm not saying, oh, like I'm the best one and this and that, but I just don't see anybody else out there telling people the reality of what it takes. I just don't.
Right. So I mean, we had this discussion a long time ago.
So dude, like you asked me, like why do I not want to go talk? Because dude, who am I talking to? I'm either talking to people who are going to fucking make it anyway because they have that internal fire, right? Or B, I'm talking to people that will never fucking make it because they don't have it on the inside. So what the fuck am I doing on stage? Talking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And why do I care? And why do I have to pull and push and tug people to convince themselves that it's a good idea to fucking be successful? You see?
And I don't want to put words into your mouth, but what I hear you saying is that the vast majority of the people in the success motivation space, they know exactly what you know, but they're like, well, I'm getting paid anyway.
Right.
I'll take the money.
Right. That's exactly right.
And you're saying you don't want to be lumped in with that.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People either have it on the inside or they fucking don't.
Yeah.
Right? And like, do I get excited when I hear like E.T., the hip hop preacher, fucking talk? Yeah, I do. I think he's fucking awesome. By the way, I'm a huge fan of his. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, the guy's just got that fire and it's fun to listen to, right? But what's the point? You know what I'm saying? He's not making me, and no offense to him, but I'm not working any harder because of what he says. I got that shit on the inside of my heart anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it a good idea to use you as a yardstick?
I don't fucking know, dude. That's what I'm working through right now. It's like I don't get it. Like I don't get why people have to be tugged or pushed or pulled or motivated to be successful. I don't fucking get it. And so like because I don't get it, now I'm wondering why the fuck do I waste all this time doing this shit?
Well, let me give you one quick answer.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Because dude, even my own guys that work for me, I've got to fucking constantly be motivating them and kicking them in the ass and this and that and saying, hey, come on, let's go. Right. Dude, should you not walk home and look at your fucking shitty apartment and look at your fucking, your newborn kid and say, man, I probably should fucking be successful in my life.
Right.
So I can take care of this fucking kid and I can get a better apartment and live the life I want to live. Right?
Yeah.
So why the fuck is that so hard for people to connect those dots?
That's a good question.
Right.
But I will tell you this, and Kelsey's going to agree with me too, because most of you guys know Andy gets literally thousands of emails. So we help at least address them and respond to them. And dude, I do think you're selling, to some extent, you're not, your I guess, attempt to be objective and humble. The reality is, Kelsey was just telling me this today. She's like, it's kind of crazy. Some of these emails we get, like, you really do impact people's life. And I'm going to answer your question. You know what? There's a lot of, you're right. There's a lot of fakery and there's a lot of BS in the success space, but people are hungry for real, and they are hungry for people who really care about them. And the emails that we get are over the top. I mean, we've gotten one about a guy who, this podcast helped him endure the death of his son who killed himself. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I talked to that guy.
Yeah, you did. So people do, people. Not everybody's self-motivated. Fact. And people do need help. They do need a kick in the pants.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something I've struggled with my whole life. Is like I don't understand why other people aren't like me. You know what I mean? Like I look at other people and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
And then whenever there's 7 of them and there's 1 of me, then what ends up going home is I end up looking myself in the mirror and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because I don't get it.
Well, I think there's a difference between the people that look at your lifestyle and say that would be nice to have or that would be nice to work towards, and people who, you know, there's like, oh yeah, that'd be nice, but I'm comfortable where I'm at. Mm-hmm. You know, and they would like to say that they want to be where you're at, but they don't.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. For me, like I've never ever questioned. It's not about the lifestyle either, man. Like I like cool shit, and that's it. You know, I grew up watching P. Diddy and fucking Mace and Biggie, and I want to be them. All right?
Right.
So, like, that's just me being a fucking kid. That's like me. Actually, what it is, it's like me getting back being a kid because I never really got to be a kid because I was fucking working. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. But it doesn't define anything about me. You know, I'm not fucking. You know, I don't care about that shit in all honesty. I mean, I did 10 years ago, but now I don't. I'm like, fuck, it's fucking stupid.
Well, you've learned that there's more.
No, dude, the coolest thing that I've done in the last fucking year was seeing what are you gonna say?
Well, I might not be thinking of what you posted something about this. I think on your Instagram or no, the car show with little kids.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing I've seen in the last year was Tyler, and you were there when we went to Fit City and spoke to those inner city weightlifter kids from what's the name of their group?
Weightlifters.
Lift for Life.
Lift for Life weightlifters. Yeah.
Dude, and I didn't even speak. They asked me to speak, and I said no because we had Big Ty Russ, we had Real World Tactical Tony. And then we had Juan, and then we had Juan, who's a DEA agent here in St. Louis, and
Mike
Coonahan, who's and they all talk to these kids, and these kids are inner city kids who are using lifting like after school to like stay busy, really, you know. To hear those dudes talk to those kids, and like coach them, and like that was pure, dude. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like Sal asked me because he's like, you want to talk? I'm like, no, I don't have to because these guys just said everything needed to be said. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like I'm starting to think like that's where I want to go with this. Like, you know, maybe even younger kids, high school and younger, because like, you know, it was just pure, dude. It was the pureness of what I like about this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then, you know, we had a kid come by headquarters.
Can I just insert something though?
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why that's such a satisfying experience is that those kids have struggles that a lot of people don't, and those struggles,
dude, they're not bitching either,
right? But it just forges them, and it makes them hungry, and you can sense that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not ripping on the average person that's just has grown up in a nice family or whatever, but unless you've experienced that. You just don't have that hunger. You don't have that drive to make yourself better.
I think like what you're saying, like, dude, I want to work with and be surrounded by people who are truly hungry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who are truly hungry.
Right.
Not the people that you just said that they like think it would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that would rather fucking die than not succeed.
Right.
And that's the truth. And like, dude, that's how I've always been. Like being where we are is, in all honesty, extremely disappointing because I feel like I should be a lot further than where I am. And I'm hungry as fuck. And if you ask anybody that comes into our building on a daily basis, dude, I'm intense, I'm hungry, and I want to fucking win every day. And like, I don't connect with any other attitude.
Right.
You know, and this attitude that you just described about it would be nice seems, I think you kind of hit it on the head because like I'm just getting tired of that.
I just had a conversation with my friend. A lot of my friends have that mentality, which I'm cool with. You know, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But we were talking about it today.
No, and I'm like, dude, I'm not. Look, I have friends like that too, and we're great friends,
and it's fine.
But here's where the problem is.
Try to act like they
right,
do.
Exactly. The problem is when you're trying, when you say that you won't like this, and then all your actions dictate and indicate otherwise.
And if you don't know if you're that kind of person, I can guarantee that if someone tells you that you're that kind of person, if it doesn't make you angry or doesn't give you a lot of anxiety thinking about just being an average person on an average day, you're probably the hungry person.
Dude, it's something that, you know, you just have or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, and
so let me throw out a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and I have talked a lot about the way you were growing up, you know, way you were raised, your experience growing up. Somebody recently said, I read this somewhere, that said that one of the number one issues with America as a culture is we're just out of touch with reality. And I feel like that's one of the things that I feel like has come through again and again in your life and your life story. Like, you have not been shielded from reality, like the way things are, the harshness of life, the trials of life, the temptation, or the what's the word I'm looking for? Just everything. The school of hard knocks. I don't know how you put it, but whether it's the way you were raised or some of the things that went on in your life when you were young, you want something real because that's what you've experienced your whole life, and you're completely against fakeness and whatever. And I think when you talk to people like these kids that you talk to, that's the way their life is. And when your life is full of reality and full of, no matter how harsh it is, you have a hunger, you have a drive. And maybe that's the problem, is that most of the people that are in the success space, and it's just all,
dude, it's all recycled bullshit.
Yeah, it's just all fantasy.
It's a fucking meme.
Yeah. Did that make any sense, what I was
Yes.
just trying to say?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it didn't. But
No, it did.
But I mean, this is kind of a weird analogy, but I mean, you guys know I used to be a pastor. I used to get so irritated when people would talk about, like, in America, how Christians are persecuted, because you hear stuff like, you know,
No, Christians are persecuted in fucking Iran.
right.
And,
Like-
and
Yeah,
Syria.
let's talk mass
Right,
where they cut your
slaves.
fucking head off.
Right.
All right, that's persecution.
Right. You're not persecuted
Because someone fucking holds a sign up that says "fuck Jesus,"
Right.
that doesn't mean you're getting fucking persecuted.
Right.
Get the fuck over, you pussy.
Right, and that's what I feel, and yet every time that I would interact with somebody from overseas, like literally they're in countries where they're getting beheaded for reading the Bible, like all of a sudden I go,
Dude, America's
what
a bunch of spoiled little brats.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to. And saying otherwise is
and
saying
the success and motivation
Uh,
space reflects that.
dude, it does.
Yes.
Because it's playing to that.
Well,
Yeah.
we're privileged, and people don't
We-
acknowledge
exactly.
that.
They're not grateful. They're
Yeah.
not grateful for how fucking awesome it is to be an American.
And people like to throw around the word oppression without actually knowing what oppression is.
Fuck out of here. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
dude.
Right.
I mean,
I
ahead.
just had this conversation the other night about, no offense, but girls in America.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it goes that deep. Like,
what do you mean?
I won't even fuck with girls from America because they're just so entitled in like what they think they deserve in a relationship when they offer
Oh, so
nothing
that's the
in
issue.
return.
We all just thought you were gay.
No. I like pussy.
Oh, no.
You realize that when you say those kinds of things, I actually need to like add a little thing to the classification on iTunes. Now I have to add suggestive dialogue to the classification.
That was
on
already
iTunes.
Just mute him out anyway.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
else
true.
does anyway.
Maybe that's my problem. I'm like 90% Irish, so I come from hard
Yeah.
background.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, look, and then the other thing is like, you know, like people don't know what it's like to work hard. You know what I mean? Like, like all these motherfuckers on the internet talking about like, oh, dude, I fucking rise and grind. Fucking, the grind includes Friday, motherfucker. The grind includes Saturday and Sunday too. Okay, and like, dude, they talk about all this work and all this time. I don't sleep. I don't blah blah blah. You know what? How about this? For 2 weeks, let's make you go work fucking foundation work or construction or flat work. And let's talk about fucking hard work. That's what I used to fucking do. Okay? Dude, let's take them in the middle of summer and let's put them out in a fucking construction site with their fucking boots on and make them carry concrete forms for fucking 10 hours a day. And then we'll talk about hard work. You know what I mean? There's two kinds of hard work. There's fucking hard work, okay? Like, hey, I'm dedicated, I'm grinding, I'm doing what I need to do on a daily basis. But is it really that fucking hard Is it stressful? Yeah, stressful.
Right.
Is it exhausting? Yes, it is.
Right.
But it's not fucking hard. Hard is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's going to be 110 fucking degrees outside and going out and carrying 8-foot foundation forms for 10 fucking hours for $400 a week. That's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Okay? And dude, all these motherfuckers on the internet, these pretty boy fucking success snake oil salesmen or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they don't know a goddamn thing about working hard. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I come from a family of fucking blue collar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, people that fucking work for a living, all of them. You know, my dad was a business owner, but dude, he fucking worked. You know what I mean? Dude, these people don't fucking get it. Like, and like, I almost feel like it should be a requirement for like our youth and everybody to have 2 weeks a year fucking hard labor. Like for 2 weeks a year, you've got to go work one of these 10 fucking hard ass jobs.
I've always told people that people should have to work construction, retail, and food service.
Dude,
to be
no
like
shit.
a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like, dude, you don't even know how fucking good you have it. Like,
Right.
You
I got to tell you, the other thing that I really like about the fact this comes through in this podcast, not this particular one, but in the whole series of podcasts, you often say to people, listen, there's always a context to what I'm talking about. And one of the things that I hate
oh my God.
about I hate about the success and motivation industry.
The internet in general.
Well, yes, but particularly, and I will tell you, I mean, I know I'm biased, but I will tell you, I do not think I know you don't lump into this, is that there is such an emphasis on self-satisfaction in the success and motivation that true success in life is you being happy with your life and you being personally satisfied. And I think what's lost in that sometimes is, you know what? Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the good of others.
Dude, that's the point.
Yes.
Dude, you're making the point I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That the message is, oh, let's just be happy. Oh, you know, it's important to be happy. It's the most important thing. Well, I agree. But you know how you do that? You got to fucking earn it.
Right.
Okay? You got to dude, you don't get to be happy just because you fucking decide to be, oh, I'm happy. You might pretend to be that. You might tell your fucking friends that. You might tell your family that. You might post that on the internet. But when you look in the fucking mirror, if you haven't earned that right to be happy by doing the fucking work that it takes, that you can look back and say, hey, I'm fucking proud of this.
Right.
I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of the work I did. I'm proud of what I built. Then you don't deserve to be happy.
Right.
And you won't
Right.
be.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. And then there are those people who we get emails from saying, oh, Andy, I love what you say so much. So I realized that my wife and kids were a total drain on my happiness, so I'm just going to drop them. You know, it's like, no, okay, dude, you're not listening to you have obligations, okay? Pursuit of happiness does not mean that you just drop your obligations.
And that's why, that's why I'm getting to the point where I almost want to talk to people before life gets a hold of them.
Fresh slate.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's the cool thing about kids.
Right, exactly.
They have an energy and they're not afraid.
Well, dude, because, dude, if you could tell these kids, like, hey, you know what? Your friends are going to do this. This is what they're going to fucking do. They're going to go to fucking high school. They're going to go to college because people tell them to go to college. Mm-hmm. They're going to go fucking get married because they're supposed to get married. They're going to have 2 or 3 kids. And then they're going to turn around and look back and say, fuck, I should have thought this through a little bit better because now I can't afford to do fucking anything. Right?
Right.
And then they're going to want their freedom back, so they're going to get divorced, and then their life is going to be hard.
Right.
And you know, nobody tells people that. You know, they teach you fucking calculus, but they don't teach you that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What sense does that fucking make?
Yeah, nothing.
You know,
Doesn't
so
make
like,
sense.
why are we not teaching kids from the get-go, like, hey, look, you know, when you're 19, 20 years old, you need to be thinking about what your life's going to be like when you're 40. Mm-hmm. You need to be thinking about, you know, that you're working now for your future family. Mm-hmm. Okay? You want to have a family? That's great. I think you should. But you need to take that serious, that obligation now, as if you already had that family. You know? And why aren't they teaching this shit in fucking high school?
Yeah, although I would have to say that you weren't taught that. You were taught that by your dad.
Dude,
you know,
your
parents.
No, I hit the fucking lottery. Like, this is, all right. I hit the lottery of fucking dads. That's what it came down to. Okay? And people talk about luck, and do I believe in luck? Yeah, I do under certain contexts. Can't pick your fucking parents. That's luck, right? Can you? Is there luck in business? I don't know. I think everything happens in business as a result of lessons you've learned and being prepared for situations that come up and capitalizing on those situations. I think it's an A plus B equals C deal, and that quote unquote luck situations are going to happen to anybody. You've just got to be prepared to fucking take advantage of them.
I think the language you used in a previous episode is good. It's not luck, it's fortunate. There are things that happen to people that are favorable. They're fortunate.
Right.
And they're positive. So,
but how many of those favorable things or quote unquote lucky things happen to people that they don't move on because they're not prepared or they haven't done the work ahead of time to recognize the opportunity.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody has those. They just not everybody fucking recognizes them.
Right.
So it's not luck, dude. It's just the way things are.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. No, I
and the reason I don't say luck all the time and don't like, dude, people are like, yo, Andy, you said there's no such thing as luck. Well, what about fucking Derek Wida, your friend? He got his leg shot off in Iraq. You don't think that's fucking bad luck? Well, you know what? Depends on how you look at it. Because does it suck for him at the time? Yeah. But the dude impacts millions of people now.
He does.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what is it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all perspective.
I would also
it's
say
not luck that he chose to be influential. Like,
Right.
you have to look at it. It's not just the situation. It's what you do with the situation. And he chose his life after that.
Right. But I mean, there is lucky things. Like, dude, I mean, I was born with a fucking dad who his dad taught him the right shit, so he taught me the right shit. And somewhere along the line, somebody taught my grandpa the right shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was born into that. You know, that's I mean, that's luck.
Right.
What are you going to say about that?
Well, you know that old cliche. It really is true. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, and it's just the incredible value of the person who's raising you. You know, and it's the person who is shaping.
Well, dude,
you
and
when
that's
you were
the
a young
point
person.
of what we're doing here. Like,
Yeah.
that was the main thing of like what I wanted to do with this project was to bring those things that I've learned, that I've been taught, that I've experienced, and that I've compounded upon and grown a nice business upon those principles to people who didn't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To people who didn't have somebody in their life that they could go to and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, what's this? Or, hey, you know, like, dude, my dad never sugarcoated anything. He still doesn't. And anybody who knows him will tell you that.
No.
To the point where, like, I've got to watch him when I take him out because, like, he will say shit that people will get super pissed about. And he just thinks it's like,
Common sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I ran
dude,
into him at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
He was talking about this to one of your employees. He's like, I have to shut my mouth every time I go into the store.
dude, because they get their fucking feelings hurt. You know, like, people think I'm fucking crazy. Like, dude, you should spend a fucking day with my dad.
Yeah. We need to bring him in again.
Dude, we do.
Yeah.
You know, he will, you know, you'll go to a restaurant and there'll be like fucking, let's say something wrong with the silverware or something. He'll pick the silverware up and look at the waitress and be like, hey, you see this? You know, this is why people don't come to your fucking restaurant. And like, it'll be like a lesson. Like,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you know, it depends on how you look at it. Like,
Yeah.
you can look at it, one, like it's super offensive, or two, that he's actually taking the time to help you realize how big of an impact that is on you. You know what I mean?
So my dad, I wouldn't say he was as intense as your dad, but he said to me one time, he said, you know, America would be a lot better off if instead of saying, does it offend me, ask the question, is it true? You know, people are more concerned about if something is offensive rather than if something's true. You know, and yeah. So, wow. I mean, there's so many different directions we could go with this
Dude,
conversation.
You know what? Now, like, being offended is almost like, it's like become this thing where it's like you broke a fucking law, like you touched a fucking kid or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh God, are you offended me? So what?
I'd be curious to know how many people in America today think that the right not to be offended is some sort of
You don't have a right not to be offended.
Yeah, right.
Well, if it wasn't
but they
true,
probably
they
think they
wouldn't be
do.
offended.
Yeah. So
That's true.
yeah. So
I mean, dude,
you know,
we're just getting all over the place.
no, but I mean,
The bottom line is like, you know, you ask me a question, the answer to it is like, I just, you know, I need to figure out what direction I want to take this and feel good about it because, you know, dude, I think I'm just going to sound like I'm bragging, and I guess I am, but fuck it. I'm a better speaker than all these other motherfuckers out there. And that's it.
I agree.
And I listen to what they say, and a lot of them talk out of both sides of their mouth. Mm-hmm. I like guys like Eric Thomas, like E.T. I respect that guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he spends a lot of time with kids. He's telling people the truth. You know, he's a little more cleaned up than I am, and I respect that too because I wish I could be sometimes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm me, and I am what I am. And I like the purity of that. Mm-hmm. You know, when it becomes this like, dude, I just want to help people, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I just want to help people. I want to help people, and I want people to. I want to know that it's helping people, but then when I stop and I look myself in the eye and I think about. When I think about it and I break it down, like I said, you know, people that have it are going to have it, and people that aren't. Mm-hmm. So who the fuck am I talking to, right? Yeah. And I got to figure that out.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, so I like, you know, I think I'm going to start trying to do a lot more with kids, and kind of maybe focus in on that because I feel like, you know, like Tyler said, you know, when you're working with a blank slate. You're kind of like solving a problem at the root, maybe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As opposed to like trying to fix somebody who is already fucking so mentally gone. Mm-hmm. You know.
When you say kids, I'm just curious. Do you mean would it go up to college age?
I don't know, man. I feel like college. I feel like college age. You know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like college age kids think they know fucking everything. And I feel like they think they know what the fuck you're saying when they really don't fucking have an idea. Like when I'm telling them what it's really going to fucking take for them to be successful, they think that means like sacrificing one Saturday a fucking month and not drinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I saw this graphic out there about Bill Gates that said he didn't take one day off in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it fucking takes. And to get people to get that, they hear that and they think it's like not true, right? And then you got other people out there who are successful being like, oh, dude, you know, I'll show you how to do it and not have to work hard. And then, you know, like it's just all these conflicting messages that are not true. I don't know one person. I personally do not know one person that is successful that has done it in less than 7, 8, 9 years. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about when I say successful, you know, making at least $1 million a year. You know, I don't know one. You know, and that's the other thing. You know, like people saying like Gary has this thing that he says, you know, if you're in the top, if you make $400,000. You're in the top one. You're at the bottom of the top 1%, and you know blah 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 blah. But I'm going to tell you right now, dude. You know, $400,000 might sound like a fuckload of money, but I'm going to tell you right now, that shit goes fucking fast. And when you have people that you have to take care of and things you have to do and obligations, dude, that's not. You know, you need to be setting your goals higher than that. You know, and if you're setting your goal at $400,000, you're probably never going to be $400,000. You're going to make $100,000. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like there's just things that, you know, I think people are getting so much information thrown at them that they don't know what to listen to or what to believe or what to do. And it's just like the diet and fitness industry. You know, there's all these diets and all these workouts and all these plans. And what do people do? They do nothing because there's so much shit thrown at them that they don't know what the fuck to do.
Right. And
I feel like it's the success thing because of like platforms like Instagram has become so similar to that like I don't want to be a part of it. You know, I don't or I've got to figure out a way to be a part of it that's different, just like I did with my companies. You know what I mean? Where I differentiated our companies away from the typical quote unquote supplement brand. Like, hey, here's a fucking professional bodybuilder who has been training for 30 years, but he took my protein last week and he gained fucking 70 pounds. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, I guess what I'm trying to do, dude, is to figure out a way to feel good about what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I know people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, dude, you should do this or you should do that. Just save that shit. Because no offense, I'm not going to listen to whatever the fuck you say. I'm going to decide on my own. It's just the way I am. You know what I mean? That's why I don't fucking say, hey, what should we talk about? Because I'm going to fucking talk about what I want to talk about.
Right.
So.
Revolution is needed for sure.
Yeah, man. I need to figure out how to I need to figure out how to change what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because, dude, people are being fed this same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. And we're creating a generation of the success zombie thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just because you consume somebody's Facebook posts and videos and snaps and all this shit, that doesn't mean you're going to be any more successful.
Right.
And I feel like people are buying into that. Like, I follow this person and this person and this person. I surround myself with all these things. So, I'm going to be successful. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
it's like someone who gets a master's and doesn't do anything with it.
Exactly. Right. It's
cool.
Same,
you got $200,000 in student loans.
But
Congratulations.
It's the same thing. It's like, and I'm trying to figure out how to get through and past speaking to that group and speak to the people who are the people who really want to fucking do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I guess that's what I'm getting to. Like, I don't like talking.
How do we find the people who?
Yes.
In ministry, we always said we want to look to work with the willing.
Yeah.
That's how you want to work with people who
I don't want to fucking drag
really know their
somebody.
need.
I'm tired of dragging people, dude. I've
Yeah.
been dragging people my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. I want to work with people who are going to fucking do it regardless of me being there or not and help direct them on their path. Does that make sense?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do. And I don't want to fucking talk to all these other motherfuckers who ain't going to do shit anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, dude, I know it. Like, when I go talk to a group and people come up and they're like, oh, dude, that was so great. I'm going to fucking blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you're going to go home and drink a beer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm over that shit.
Yeah.
And I know it. I'm not fucking stupid. I can pick up on it right away.
Right.
You're going to be the same person you were when you walked in here. Mm-hmm. So let's save me some time and you some time. And you just go drink your beer and I'll just keep doing my fucking thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Mind blown, I'll tell you that. Seriously, no, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't plan this.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna have to redo the intro, but
I'll figure it out,
yeah,
man. I always
yeah,
figure it out.
yeah.
It's not, people probably listen to this being like, oh, he's going to quit doing his shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It's just, I'm just going to adjust the way I do things to fit people who I think are deserving and
Right.
willing and able to do what they want to do. I'm tired. I've been in business for damn near 20 years, and I'm tired of dragging people. I'm tired of convincing people. I'm tired of fucking, like, dude, the fact that you don't have the shit and live the kind of life that you want to live should be the motivation you need. That's it. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't need anybody else. You shouldn't need somebody in your ear on a fucking daily basis saying, hey, man, let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Get out there and fucking do something.
Yeah.
The
only other thing that popped into my mind, and I want to be careful because I know that we've talked about how money's not a bad thing, obviously, and
money's a fucking great thing.
And it's a great thing, and what you do with it is really what makes it good or bad. But it is interesting. All these people in the success and motivation industry who are constantly talking about how much it's their heart passion to motivate people, to help them to succeed, to achieve their goals in life. Well, what if you suddenly said, okay, well, you're gonna do that, but you're not gonna profit off of it?
Let's be real.
How many people would still do that?
Let's be real. How many of those people give back? Let's be real. Like, give back in a fucking relative way. Mm-hmm. All right, you know where I'm going right after this? I'm going, and people are going to take this as bragging, but I'm going to fucking tell you anyway because I don't give a fuck. I'm going to my high school, and they're dedicating the baseball field that I fucking built for the high school with Chris, my partner. Mm-hmm. Okay? We 2 years ago, we built them a fucking football field. The year before that, we built them a fucking weight room. All right? That's where I'm going after this. Where are these motherfuckers going? Where's that money going? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking care about people. Just give me your money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, it's just, look, there's real and then there's fucking internet. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out a way to like separate myself from getting thrown in with all these fucking jackoffs. Because that's what they are.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a question, it's a statement.
Well, no, I mean, how to do that.
Oh.
That's the how to do that.
Look, dude, I'll figure it out. I always do.
It's a very good poem.
Yeah. Let's work on a haiku. Jackoffs on the internet. Take your money. You be broke.
No, but it does, you know, I mean.
You're surprised I know what a haiku is.
I am, actually.
I mean, it is a question. Like, do you just work to reform the current success space, or do you just say
no? Because
I'm
like,
just gonna
dude,
do my own thing.
To do what I want to do, it's like I have to get on the internet and fucking call these motherfuckers out. And
You
I
have
don't
to
wanna,
weed out the weak.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that because that's not my style.
Yeah.
My style has never been to like trash people. My style is to be like do my own thing and let it work itself out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe, you know.
Well, what about like that St. Bart's thing? Like, did that bring like the type of quality people that you were
Yeah, that was a
interested
good
in?
group. You know, that's what I was
So
thinking
there's
about.
like some sort of commitment.
I was thinking
you know?
about doing something like that. Like I thought about doing like a weekend or something or a workshop here, like for like 10 people at a time, or like you know a reasonable, manageable group that you can like spend time with and talk to and all that shit. You know, and make them pay like fucking a real amount of money.
Like the group here that was after the Gary,
Yeah,
the
like
VIP
make 'em
group.
pay fucking
Yeah.
$5,000 or something to come in. You know what I mean? Because like, dude, if you're paying $5,000 to come in, I know you're fucking serious. You know what I mean? And then maybe we'll donate the money to something. You know, I just want it as like a fucking vetting process for like,
Yeah.
you know.
You also have to think that as you grow and your message grows, the people who are ready to grow with you are also going to stick around, and the people who are not at that point won't be around anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, hey, look, this is dragging on. People are probably like, what the fuck right now? I'm sorry for the long, drawn-out podcast today, guys. Just working through some shit, just trying to keep it real, you know? I'll figure it out, and you know, I appreciate you guys sticking with us and sticking by us and being loyal and spreading the word, man, because if it wasn't for you guys, I sure as fuck wouldn't be doing this. I can tell you that right now. You know, and I'm just in a weird mood today, man. Like, you
I
know,
knew it when you walked in.
yeah, well, dude, you know what? I had a big talk with our company last night, like our sales guys, and we're killing it, dude. We've already sold more this year, the first quarter of this year, than we sold the first 9 months of last year. You know what I mean? We're killing it. But the point is there's things that are being left on the table. There's opportunities that are fall through the cracks, and like that, I can't fucking stand that. Like it's reflective of character. Like dude, when you're truly hungry, you don't fucking let opportunities slip through your fucking fingers, you know? And like, I'm just tired of having the conversation of like, hey, we got to fucking do this. And, you know, and like, dude, I got to post these motherfucking videos on the fucking internet. And this long ass caption says basically, hey, quit being a bitch. You know, how about I just fucking post every day, hey, you're a fucking bitch. Quit being one. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just save some fucking time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird mood.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right, guys.
Anyway, we'll be back with normal broadcasting soon.
Okay.
In the meantime, quit being a bitch.
We gonna let the band deal with this. MIA style. Old school.